job.
Well, whoever's driving around your mother-in-law's car, congratulations. They won that bet, right?
Well, you ought to see the car. It's not much of a bet.
Montana State, Weber State. Two of the Blue Bloods in this conference. And boy, do they love to get after it. They split the regular season series. Montana State won 11 of their last 12. That only loss to Weber State.
Well, Montana State got off of this tournament with an 84-73 win over Northern Colorado and was very, very impressive doing so.
There's Darius Brown. Boy, has he been a terrific addition to this team. Raekwon Battle, you talked about his explosiveness, and he starts with a three-point shot that's no good. Dylan Jones, the board, the starting lineup for the Weber State Wildcats. Stephen Verplanken in there. He had a terrific performance yesterday. So did KJ Cunningham. And the star role players you talk about that have to come up big in March.
And what's big Alex Chu at 6'11", 250. He has started to really have an impact on every game in and around the paint.
Dylan Jones, his first shot. That's no good. And Jones yesterday had a tough time shooting in the early going of the game against Sacramento State. You see the starters now for Montana State. Jabril Bello, the MVP a year ago. Raekwon Battle. Bumps may not be fouls tonight when you get these kind of matchups in the Big Sky.
As I said, Alex Chu now having a huge impact in the paint, especially at the defensive end. 6'11", 250. One of four English guys that's going to have an impact on this game.
Stephen Verplanken, third team, all Big Sky, starts it with a three-point bucket.
Boy, he has become a picture of consistency. 16 straight double-digit games. Season high 26 in their last game in Flagstaff.
Patterson, a corner three. Tap out goes to Bello.
If Weber State is going to continue to double the post, they're going to have to find Patterson on the perimeter. That's what he does, is spot up. And at 6'8", it's easy for him to get it off.
Bello, strip. This one's a foul. It's on Chu.
Now, what Chu did in their first game, the Wildcats I'm speaking of, last night against Sac State, he stayed out of foul trouble. He's had a big problem early in his career, just a sophomore, so he's kind of learning and becoming more experienced along the way of getting a couple cheap, silly fouls early. Now, that wasn't a cheap or silly foul. It was a foul, but he's done a good job of staying out of foul trouble here late in the season.
From where Jabril Bello started to where he is now in his career, what an amazing jump. He's fought through several injuries the last few years. He broke both knees in his teen years, once in junior college. He's had no issues since, but he didn't play basketball until he was 15, and he grew a lot. Suddenly, in his college career, you saw him the very first game that he was out there. He was just big. Now, he's incredibly skilled, and he was the MVP a year ago.
How about 1,100 points, 500 rebounds, 150 blocks in his Montana State career.
Jones for Chu. A travel.
It was a good pass by Dylan Jones to Chu, but even better team defense by the Bobcats, really rotating from the weak side, that is the side away from the ball, to pick up that roll by Dylan Jones. Good team defense, good ball screen defense.
Montana State hangs their hat on that great defense, but they're also number 3 in offensive efficiency in the Big Sky this year. Raekwon Battle, one of the big reasons why. If he misfires here, he starts 0 for 2.
Really good individual defense by Dylan Jones. Sometimes you can't believe how quick at 6'6", 235 that big fella is.
Darius Brown drops it off for Bello. Patterson, another good look. He hits this one.
As I said, if you were going to double team, now that wasn't a double team. Darius Brown broke the defense down with dribble penetration, causing a rotation, and you have just got to keep track of Tyler Patterson, because as I said, at 6'8", he just lurks around that three-point line, waiting for someone to pitch it to him.
Dylan Jones throws across the river for Cunningham. Wild off the side of the glass. Brown with a nice bounce pass to Battle. He finishes.
Battle can really run the court. You have got to really be on point in your transition defense and find him running the court. Find Patterson at the three-point line. You have got to really pay attention to transition defense.
6-0 run. Dylan Jones flat here. Darius Brown pedal down into the paint. Underhand to Battle. He goes all the way around the horn and eventually to Bello on the block. Great ball movement, and Patterson misses on this one again.
Well, they caught a break there. KJ Cunningham matched up to Patterson, came off of him to double team Bello in the paint. He has got, as soon as that ball leaves Bello's hands, he has got to sprint back to Patterson. He was late there, but Patterson missed. KJ Cunningham had his career high last night, 16 in their win over Sac State.
Jones looking to create. Much needed bucket for Weber State.
Pretty good individual defense by Caleb Fuller, who tied his career high last night with 18 with 4 made threes. But that's a pretty good physical matchup with Fuller and Dylan Jones.
Weber State had some cold spells last night. Still led by double digits for so much of the game.
Great hustle by the Wildcats.
Fuller launches. No.
That's a pretty good sign. 3 different Wildcats down on the floor chasing loose balls. That means they're here to play.
It was a scrappy game a year ago. It ended with Dylan Jones misfiring on a game-tying 3. Here's Cunningham spotting up for 3, and Weber State is back in the lead. It's 8-6.
I said KJ Cunningham went 2 for 2 from the three-point line last night. 6 of 7 from the field for a career high 16 points.
He was 40% from 3 in the first half of conference play. He had a stretch, though, where he went 5 for 27 right before the conference tournament. Bello leaning inside, and he's drawn 2 fouls now on Alex Chu. Weber State up by a deuce early on over Montana State. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Principal. When you take care of your team, they take care of business.
There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hyundai.
The new 2023 GMC Sierra AT4X.
There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hyundai.
Oh, that spin class was brutal.
There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hyundai. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hyundai. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hyundai. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hyundai. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hyundai. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hyundai.
Targets are on site.
It's all here, as we discussed.
That rocking chair would look great in our new house.
Oh, a new house, eh? Well, you should definitely see our guy.
Targets are on site.
It's all here, as we discussed.
That rocking chair would look great in our new house.
Oh, a new house, eh? Well, you should definitely see our guy. Geico has been offering savings for over 85 years. That's longer than the buffalo wing's been around.
We have you covered on Selection Sunday. It all starts at noon Eastern on ESPN with college basketball live to prep the day at 6. Reese and the guys take a look at the men's field of 68 as the brackets are announced, followed by bracketology with breakdowns of each region. At 8, the women's field of 68 is revealed with continuing coverage on ESPNU. Then that's at 9, and then at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. Even more coverage of both brackets. Everything is also streaming live on the ESPN app. Coach, your thoughts of the early start here?
Well, both teams struggling a little bit offensively, which doesn't surprise me. Both teams have really sold out defensively and done a nice job. Montana State only 2 of 8, 25%. Weber State 3 of 7, 42%. And boy, both teams really active and intense at the defensive end.
Alex Chu goes out with 2 fouls. Hanjay Tamba steps in. You've talked a lot about his growth throughout the year. He needs to take another big stride in this next stretch of minutes for Weber State.
Well, Jay Tom is 6'11", a little bit light in the britches, not like Chu at 250 pounds, but they have become the dynamic duo defensively. But Big Tomba is going to have his hands full with Bello, and now big great Osibor, the substitute of the year in the league, who goes 6'8", 245.
Steven Verplanken.
Set play coming out of that timeout, a little 2-man game. Verplanken to Tomba, and that has become Verplanken's go-to move in and around the basket, coming off a 16-point game last night, his 26th double-figure game of the year, 3rd team all-conference. Verplanken has really been on the come since about the 1st of December.
Bench has been big for Montana State. Couple of key players out there now. Robert Ford III and great Osibor. Here is Ford. Bending off, offensive foul. It goes to Weber State.
Now that was about a good half-court defense as you're going to see anywhere at any time. Weber State so good with their rotations, and then Junior Ballard, 3rd leading scorer for the Wildcats, who comes off the bench. Great individual defense guarding Robert Ford III, the transfer from Idaho State. Zaire Porter now in playing point guard for KJ Cunningham.
Great steal. It's Darius Brown. He's the defensive player of the year for a reason. And he ties it up at 10.
And he leads the league in steals. The transfer portal from Cal State Northridge has been a glove fit for the Bobcats this year.
Dylan Jones on a post-up against Patterson. Osibor there to help, and Jones scores anyway.
Jones just sawmill strong around that basket. 6'6", 235. As I've said, I think he is the best finisher in the league. When he gets it down there, he leads with that big body and has great concentration to watch it go all the way in.
High post. Great Osibor. Stumbling, recollects it. He's going to go right at Tamba. Spins to his left. Nice play.
Wow, has that kid come a long, long way. Just a big-bodied freshman last year. He's really transformed his body. And what a great move, going over his weak shoulder to his left hand. You talk about a dynamic 1-2 punch in the post. Osibor and Bello is the best there is in the league. 2 big Englishmen.
Dylan Jones with that soft touch. 14-12 the score. Weber State has now hit their last 5 shots of the game here tonight.
Jones had 18 points last night, but really had trouble scoring. A 7 for 19 and only 1 of 7 from the 3-point line, which tied his season high of 3-point shot attempts at 7.
Robert Ford III, empty on this 3-point shot. Dylan Jones, as you talked about, wasn't his best game. He still led everybody in scoring on the night. It wasn't his usual rebounding night where he just collects them with ease. He has 4 already. He drives, he kicks. Zaire Porter for 3. That's no good. And the loose ball's grabbed by Robert Ford. Here comes Ford. Weber State's defense gets back. Ford pushing the envelope, draws a foul. We step aside with Weber State up by 2. 11:05 left to play here in the first. The MVP candidate, Dylan Jones, off to a solid start here tonight in Boise.
There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the hunt.
The new 2023 GMC Sierra AT4X.
There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hyundai.
Geico's been offering savings for over 85 years. That's longer than the buffalo wing's been around.
There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hyundai. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hyundai. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hyundai.
BK Muscle here, everyone say cheese, classic bacon and spicy.
Geico's been offering savings for over 85 years. That's longer than the buffalo wing's been around.
That rocking chair would look great in our new house.
Oh, a new house, eh? Well, you should definitely see how Geico...
There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hyundai.
That rocking chair would look great in our new house.
Oh, a new house, eh? Well, you should definitely see how Geico...
With the Venture X card from Capital One, you earn 2 times miles on every purchase. The noise canceling.
Targets are on site.
It's all here as we discussed.
This is what you play for. This is what you dream of. 2 words. March Madness.
And now for tonight's Worth a Watch, brought to you by Principal. Coach, we talked about how stunning it was for Northern Arizona's men's team to be in the championship game. It is no surprise to see the Lumberjacks in the championship game. For the women's bracket, they take on Sacramento State, 5 o'clock Eastern on ESPNU.
Boy, that women's tournament has been a very, very entertaining affair, Tony. I tell you, if you like to watch women's college basketball, you won't find any finer tournament than what's been going on here in Boise.
Dylan Jones, 3 of 6 for the field. Also has those 4 quick rebounds. The best defensive rebounder in the entire country. And his leadership this year to keep this team together when it was looking really rough early in the season for Weber State.
Well, the last time these two teams played, Weber State won in Ogden on February 9th. Dylan Jones had one of his league-leading 19 double-doubles, 18 points, 12 rebounds. Weber State only started 1 for 5 from the field. They've gone 5 for 6 since then.
A tie-up. And the possession arrow goes to Weber State.
Well, Weber State has been playing great half-court defense. The question is, can they sustain that for 40 minutes? Because it has been very impressive here in the first 9 minutes.
Weber State shooting 54.5%. Defensively, they've held Montana State to 1 of 5 from the outside. Controlled possessions is what they like to do on offense. Weber State, number 9 in offensive efficiency during the conference year. Zaire Porter.
Well, that's where Porter, excuse me, Tony, that's where Porter does his work the best, is driving it into the lane with those arms, long arms, but he's unable to finish that.
Osobor was an X factor in the semifinal a year ago against Weber State, and his presence being felt early on in this edition.
Well, the game I just mentioned that Weber State won in Ogden, he led the Bobcats in scoring. Bello only 8 points, 5 rebounds, Battle 14, and Osobor 15 in the paint and played really well.
Anjay Tamba called for an offensive foul. He has improved, but still a raw player learning a lot. Jabril Bello, a terrific defensive player.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's your go-to guy yet down in that low block, but he has improved by leaps and bounds, and I think they're going to take a look at this and see if that was a flagrant type foul, which I don't think it was, but I have been wrong on that a time or two this year already.
Let's take a look at it once again. Here we go, Coach.
Well, Bello outweighs Tamba by about 40 pounds probably there, and did a pretty good job of snapping that head back to get the full attention of the official there. You couldn't hardly hurt Jabril Bello with a brick bat, but he did a pretty good job of looking like he was hurt there.
He was not just the MVP in the conference a year ago, the defensive player of the year. Montana State, 2nd straight season, by the way. They've had the first team player, 6th man of the year, and defensive player of the year.
Well, Bello was, as you mentioned, the MVP last year, unanimous MVP, won the defensive player of the year. That's the only 3rd time, Tony, in the 60-year history of the Big Sky Conference that has ever happened. Speaking of unanimous, Danny Sprinkle unanimously voted the Coach of the Year a year ago. Upgraded to a flagrant 1, our official tells us.
Tonight, Greg Nixon, Nate Harris, Ryan Holmes, Jabril Bello back to the free throw line, 72.6% on the year. First player to be named All-Conference 4 years in the Big Sky.
And he just barely rolled that one out.
He had 18 and 8 on Sunday night. At home, had 17 and 12 against Weber State. We'll take a look at the details for a flagrant 1, excessive and or unnecessary, not a legitimate play on the ball, hold or push from behind.
And that gives the Bobcats a 1-point lead.
Been tight here so far, as it usually is between these two teams. Neither team with a multiple possession lead. Great ball movement again. Raekwon Battle stripped by Cunningham. It's 2-on-2 the other way.
Really good rotation once again by the Wildcats. The Wildcats now third post guy in the game. Daniel Rouzan, the freshman from Las Vegas, who has got time this year.
What do we have here? A foul. It's an offensive foul. It was a bit of a hesitation for just a moment.
I would say that was a bit of a hesitation. I thought they were going to get together and flip a coin there for a second, but they did finally come up with a decision.
So offensive foul, KJ Cunningham. Possession back to Montana State. Weber State yesterday out-rebounded soundly, shot poorly from 3, didn't have an offensive rebound. Led by double digits for a lot of the game. The way this team defends and the way they can grind their way to victories, different than most. Raekwon Battle, baseline drive, hangs in the air, misses, and Cunningham down with the rebound.
Oh, Weber State all over that defensive rebound there. They are playing with great heart, great intensity. This is quite the battle here in the first 11 minutes.
Jones the step back. He can be streaky with shooting threes. Hot and cold.
Well, right now he's 1 for his last 9 in this tournament. I guess you call that streaky.
Battle on that baseline, a blocking foul here. The foul starting to rack up. That is 6 against Weber State.
Daniel Rouzan, the freshman big guy, the third big guy in the rotation for the Wildcats, picking up his first foul. Weber State's going to run out of big guys if they're not careful. Speaking of big guys, the Bobcats now with both big guys in the game, Osabar and Bello.
Osabar to work on Dylan Jones. He scores here, and Osabar with 6 points off the bench, a perfect 3 of 3 from the field.
Now that's the issue when they have the Bobcats, their 2 bigs in. This is the issue on the defensive end. Now Osabar trying to guard Dylan Jones. It's all well and good to play those 2 bigs at the offensive end, but that's what happens when they're down at the defensive end is now you got a big guy on a small guy, and Weber State played that exactly right.
Verplanken scoring over length. He's been great at that this year. Great Osabar goes to Raekwon Battle. Misses another point-blank range look.
Well, the Wildcats dodged a bullet there. The freshman Daniel Rouzan late on that rotation there, and the first team all-league Raekwon Battle seeing that slipped behind him, but then Battle couldn't finish the deal and make that basket.
Jones against Bello, dumps it off. Dyson Kohler finishes to give Weber State a 1-point lead. He was added to the starting lineup. It made an enormous difference for Weber State this year.
What a nice pass by Dylan Jones. Dylan Jones is a do-everything guy. He's 4th in the league, Tony, in assists at 6'6", 235.
A little muscling on the baseline. A travel is called.
Here's that great pass from Dylan Jones to Dyson Kohler, and a nice finish by Kohler, as well as the Wildcats are nursing this 1-point lead, 18-17.
There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt.
The new 2023 GMC Sierra AT4X.
There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt.
Geico's been offering savings for over 85 years. That's longer than the buffalo wing's been around.
Oh, that spin class was brutal.
Geico's been offering savings for over 85 years. That's longer than the buffalo wing's been around.
Targets are on site.
It's all here, as we discussed.
Mac, what year was it again?
1988. 17 restaurants.
That rocking chair would look great in our new house.
Oh, a new house, eh? Well, you should definitely see how Guy...
Look at this quadruple header we have coming up tomorrow. Syracuse, Wake Forest, starting at noon Eastern on ESPN. The Nightcap, North Carolina, Boston College, 7 Eastern on ESPN2 or ESPNU. The ACC tournament presented by New York Life. Another great March here as we have Champ Week with the Big Sky semifinal tonight. Coach, neither team is led by more than one possession. 4 ties, 4 lead changes. Just a classic Weber State, Montana State battle.
Weber State shooting 53% with a 1-point lead. They shot 57% in Ogden when they had that win over Montana State on February the 9th.
Had a 12-0 spark in that second half. And Montana State has not lost since. And they've just continued to gather steam. They looked phenomenal in that opening game the other night.
Well, both teams really playing hard in their half-court defense. Of course, both these coaches kind of hang their hat on their defense. Eric Duff has turned this into a defense-first program. Not to say it wasn't before. Early in the year, it wasn't that way. But Danny Sprinkle has always built his team on his 4th year around defense and rebounding.
Both teams combining 3 of 12 from deep in this game. This is the kind of game Weber State wants it to be.
Sure, low-scoring affair, half-court game. They really want to massage that ball and make it a game as low-scoring as they possibly can.
Verplanken in transition, and Stephen Verplanken, the junior from the Dominican Republic, has given Weber State their biggest lead at 4.
Boy, he's really found his groove here in the last month. 10 points now. He scored 26, his season high in their overtime win at Northern Arizona.
Ford, head down in the lane. Kohler a steal. Jones the loose ball. And the Weber State Wildcats up by 4. It's a 7-0 run. Kohler blew a tire. Ford picks up the loose ball. Now finds Osibor deep in the paint. Great catch. Great reverse. Can't finish. And a trip to the line coming. Steven Verplanken, coach, has been enormous for Weber State during this season.
In transition, as I said, he has recently found his groove. He had 16 last night. His 26th double-digit game of the year. 26, as I just mentioned, over in Flagstaff on a week ago Monday in their last regular season game. Third team all-conference with Steven Verplanken, and very, very deserving of that.
Osibor, 67.2% free throw shooter. He didn't go to the line in that final regular season game. But before that, he got to the line an average of almost 12 times a game in the previous 4. He never had a game with 10-plus free throws before that stretch. This could be another weapon here for Montana State as they continue to sharpen that saw. And that is Osibor taking advantage of the second best post player on every team he faces.
Boy, he had 15 points last night, only 1 rebound, but he was 6 of 7 from the free throw line. And they'll miss Jabril Bello, last year's MVP, second team All-League this year. Osibor will step right into his shoes next year. Tony, team fouls, Weber State with 7, Montana State with 1. That's not a huge issue right now, but it will be in the second half.
Alex Chu, the starting center of Weber State, out with 2 early fouls.
Coach Sprinkle has made a little defensive adjustment, putting Brown now on Steven Verplanken.
Tamba, the putback, and the ugly miss actually played to the benefit of the Wildcats there.
How about big Andre Tamba? In their last regular season game, he had his season high in both points and rebounds.
That, by the way, was just the first offensive rebound Weber State has had in this entire conference tournament.
You know, I've talked a little bit to Eric Duft about that. Actually, I was saying, as good a rebounder as Dylan Jones is, I'd like to see him try to get a few more offensive rebounds. And Eric Duft says, well, we put such an emphasis on our transition defense, we probably not only hurt his offensive rebounding, but we hurt our overall team's offensive rebounding. Now you hope that's a trade-off to not giving much up in transition on fast break points.
Weber State bottom 16 nationally in offensive rebound percentage. Verplanken throws a pass that was knocked away by Battle. Loose ball grabbed by me, but I'm not good in transition, so I give it to Caleb Fuller. But I had my hands ready, Coach.
That really wasn't a good catch. You kind of knocked that down and stuck a fork in it and picked it up. So, you know, I mean, it wasn't clean, but I'll give you a little credit for that.
The stat monitor said I have a steal, and I'm taking it. That's the only stat I've ever had of any importance in any basketball game.
Boy, nice defense by Kohler all over the All-League Requan Battle. Wow.
On this stage, Coach, you've got to make plays. You tell me to be ready all the time. I try.
Watch this. They were trying to get the ball to the best shooter in the arena, me, but they missed. It was a bad pass and went to you instead.
And I had to get it, because once you get a hold of it, we know you're not going to pass.
I'm shooting.
Yeah. It was not a clean catch, though.
No, it was. You knocked it down, kind of pawed it a little bit, but you came up with it. It went from a pass to being a loose ball for you.
Left bench. That was my spot on the high school basketball team. Offensive foul. Weber State with their 8th team foul here in the first half. This one's on Cunningham. Weber State in the lead by 4 here in the Big Sky semis.
There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the hunt.
The new 2023 GMC Sierra AT4X.
There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the hunt.
The new 2023 GMC Sierra AT4X.
There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hyundai. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hyundai. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hyundai.
Targets are on site.
It's all here, as we discussed.
Targets are on site.
It's all here, as we discussed.
There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hyundai.
So we've got this really cool property downtown. We want to do something walkable, sustainable. So we've got this really cool property downtown. We want to do something walkable, sustainable.
With the Venture X card from Capital One, you earn 2 times miles on every purchase.
The noise canceling.
Steven Verplanken, the third team all-conference small forward, the leading three-point shooter on this Weber State team, leads all scorers in the game. The only double-digit scorer in the game so far, 4 of 5 from the field, 2 of 3 from the three-point line, 10 points, 2 assists. He has had a huge impact on this low-scoring affair.
Weber State able to dictate some of the terms with their defense. What are they doing so effectively here tonight, Coach? Because this team in Montana State, when they get to this time of the year, they are brutal to deal with.
Well, first and foremost, they have had great concentration and intensity in their half-court offense. Their rotations have been spot on, and the ones they've missed, and there's only been a couple, Montana State has not had a chance to take advantage of it, but boy, have they bought in at the defensive end. They're holding Montana State to 35% shooting from the field, 20% from the three-point line.
Raquan Battle has it poked away by Kohler. But it goes into the hands of Bello. Outside, Fuller for 3. No, they're 1 of 6 from deep.
Fuller 4 of 8 last night from the three-point line, tying his season high 18 points. And as I said, before that, they were 1 of 5. Now 1 of 6 from the three-point line. Give Weber State a ton of credit for what they're doing defensively.
Active hands, contested shots, deflections.
You know, this is an ugly game, and it is exactly the type of game that Eric Duff wants here in this semifinal game, with a trip to the championship game on the line.
He can turn these things into a grinding fistfight. Many close victories throughout the season. Even won 2 games with their 2 lowest field goal shooting percentages. Kohler, great defense again, and they're going to call a foul on Fuller. And for Montana State, you hope that stays as just a common foul.
Well, that has to be something more than just a common foul, because Fuller grabbed him, I think, while he was on the floor. Very physical play. Nice job by Kohler here. Hands up. Loose ball.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That would be called a leg whip in the game of football. And that'd be a 15-yard penalty. Here,
I'll tell you what it's going to be called is a flagrant 1 is what it's going to be called.
They take a look at this one. An important moment here in this game. Weber State can be that team to go through cold stretches and still survive. It's a rare thing. But Danny Sprinkle and his teams, when they arrive here, you see them hit a different level. It happened last year in their first edition of the tournament. It looked very similar. Let's take another look here, Coach. We get a late look at it, but he very much wraps up his leg.
No question. How many times have I told you the best, easiest defense is just stay down, stay between your man and the basket.
Yeah, the play in the backcourt, he clamps him with his legs, which is excessive and unnecessary contact on number 0 for Montana State. It's going to be a flagrant 1 personal foul. Because of that, number 4 for Weber State has to shoot the free throws. He's going to shoot 2 free throws down here. Weber State's going to get the ball at the spot of the foul, which is in the backcourt, with 30 seconds on the shot.
As we thought, a flagrant 1. Dyson Kohler goes to the line. What a fit he's been for Weber State, being so patient with his opportunities. He was a 16% three-point shooter at Cal Poly, then a 40% three-point shooter last year with Weber State.
You kind of forget about how big Kohler is. He's 6'7", 220 pounds. Very versatile. He can guard a whole lot of different positions. He's he's always been a good three-point shooter. He at times hasn't shot it well. What he's done more than anything on this team, he's become a great guy in their half-court offense because he passes the ball. He gets the ball really moved, really reversed. He doesn't look for his shot when the ball hits his hands. He has been a big part of getting this team turned around from where they were in December.
Ballard straightens up, flat off the iron. It's rebounded by Dylan Jones. Jones back to work with the second possession. All the different post moves, he'll fade way back. No good again. And right now, Weber State without a field goal for about 3 minutes. It's a scoring drought of over 3 minutes here for Montana State. They're just one of their last 7, and they've missed 5 straight field goal attempts. Ossabor's going to try to change that here. So he's lined up with Dylan Jones. Spins to the base, second move. Raekwon Battle squares up for 3. Nothing. Ford, the O board. Got that one.
Robert Ford III, a transfer from Idaho State, was honorable mention all conference at Idaho State. Only 6 foot. He is an uncanny rebounder and always has. He had a career high 16 rebounds when he was at Idaho State, Tony. And as I say, he's 6 foot, 180 pounds.
He's so impressive because he continues to help his team win. He had a career night against Northern Colorado, then shot just 22% from the field since that career night. But he still had a nice burst here in the conference tournament. It's about finding different ways to help your team win.
Well, Danny Sprinkle's done a great job of building this bench, building his team. He was picked to win the league even though he lost 3 starters, including the tournament MVP Xavier Bishop last year. So it wasn't like he just showed up, had a team intact. He has had to put a lot of time and very, very smart coaching effort into building this team.
Great stop for the Montana State defense. They can set up a 2-for-1 here at the end of the half. Each team still with their use it or lose it timeout.
Both teams knocking on the door of 10 turnovers. It's not like they've been either one really loose with the ball. This has just been all about half-court defense.
Raekwon Battle, another look, and he hits this one. Raekwon Battle, first team All Big Sky, had 21 in the quarterfinals.
What a great pass by Brown, 3rd in the league in assists and 1st in assist to turnover ratio. He put that right on the money to Raekwon Battle. All he had to do is catch it and shoot it in, and we're going to take a little break. We'll be right back.
There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the hunt.
Tomorrow in the association, our doubleheader starts in the Big Easy with Brandon Ingram and the Pelicans hosting Luka, Kyrie, and the Mavs at 7:30 Eastern. It's off to LA as the Raptors take on Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and the Los Angeles Clippers. Coverage tips with NBA Countdown at 7 p.m. on ESPN.
Boy, this has been a low scoring, rough and tumble affair, and as I said, this is exactly what Eric Duff wants, to keep this game into the 50s, maybe the 60s. Watch this straight isolation now for Dylan Jones.
Montana State having 2 fouls to give. They use 1 here.
Very, very alert from the Bobcats, coming from their bench. I'm sure I wasn't even aware that they had fouls to give. Watch Danny Sprinkle sub to match up a little bit better, although Ossaborn now has taken Ossaborn now off of Dylan Jones, who, if I were a betting man, I would say is probably going to get this last shot. I would probably lose that bet.
He's going to be fouled by Patterson by .1. Not in the bonus yet.
Weber with 18 fouls, and now the Bobcats with 6. Now the next foul, Weber State will go to the free throw line. Whether that happens here in the last 5 seconds or not is yet to be determined.
Weber State controlling that tempo. But they've had a sluggish offensive night. Jones misses here, and Weber State goes without a field goal for over 4 minutes to close this first half.
24-25, a low-scoring affair.
Coming up on the All-State Halftime Report, tickets punched and an Irish goodbye coming up.
Very, very steady coming off the bench, but Tony, both teams have combined to shoot 5 of 18 from the three-point line. Weber State shooting 43%, and it seems like they're red hot because the Bobcats are shooting 36%. and you take all that and roll it up, and you've got a 25-24 game.
Weber State finishing that first half ice cold. This is a usual thing for them where they go through a strange drought without a field goal in the last 4:49 of the first half.
Well, that's been kind of their Achilles heel all year, but boy, they are playing up a storm, and I'm not too sure that wasn't a backboard pass by Brown, but
well, if you're Brown, you want the assist.
Yeah, no, and he is the defensive player of the year and a ball handling wizard. I wouldn't have guessed that been a pass with anyone else but him. He has 4 assists now to lead everyone in that category.
7-0 run for Plank in the step back. That is his shot.
Boy, he has just become automatic with that. He steps back just far enough to create a little space, and he's 6'4" and can get that up over about anyone. But like I say, that has become almost automatic for him.
First field goal in over 5 minutes. Raekwon Battle. Another air ball for him. Strangely, not only has he missed a lot of shots, he's missed by a lot. Dylan Jones running along the right side. Wanted a call, didn't get it.
Dylan Jones having an awful hard time in 3 halves of this conference tournament. He's now 10 of 31 and 1 of 10 from the three-point line. Englishman on Englishman.
Last year's MVP earns the 3rd foul on Alex Chu.
And that's the biggest issue for the Wildcats. All 3 of their post guys with 2 fouls make that now Chu with 3 fouls. And remember how I was bragging about how he's learned to keep himself out of foul trouble. But that's a tough challenge to guard Jabril Bello in that post. Bello, no shrinking violet at 6'9", 240, and he knows how to turn and go right at you. We have bragged, or I have, on both Bello and Great Osabar, the 2 big Englishmen, and they are in Bozeman because of another Englishman, assistant coach Chris Haslam from Southport, England. Not only has he brought in a couple awfully good big guys, he works with them every day, and these 2 big guys have really become very smooth operators in the post.
8 for 10.
There's big Chris there.
There is Chris.
He's a big man himself, working with those 2 big guys. He's done a great job developing those big guys.
They say don't trust a skinny chef. Probably don't want to trust a short post-up coach.
Well, that's probably a lot to that.
I don't know if I would do a great job working with the bigs. Herb Plankin, another step back. This one was on line, no good. Cunningham, the offensive rebound.
What a great job by Cunningham. I'm really surprised he got an offensive rebound. I think he's supposed to be back in defense.
And the foul.
Cunningham having his career high last night. 16 is contributing in a big way again at the offensive end. Watch this great finish over Raekwon Battle. Tell you what KJ Cunningham has done. He doesn't get a lot of assists. He's had 2 turnovers in his last 7 games, 9 in the last 17 games. And while he doesn't really create a lot of scoring opportunities, there's an awful lot to be said for a guy that doesn't turn it over, and that's KJ Cunningham.
The junior from Bryan, Texas, really helped spark the turnaround for this team and brought into that starting lineup a number of games where his point production might be low, but his impact on the game is much higher. Here's Darius Brown. Eventually goes to Battle. Now back over to Fuller. He's bumped and fouled. You're talking about guys who impact this team so well. He complimented Danny Sprinkle on losing so many key players, including last year's tournament MVP. Darius Brown has been a guy that if you jump in to play point guard on this team, there's a big responsibility there. Bishop really had that handled. He's been here at the tournament all week. And Darius Brown has picked up right where Xavier Bishop left off, although they have very different styles.
Very different style of play. Darius Brown, 1,000 points, 500 assists. His 16 assist game is the most in the Big Sky this year. He's had a couple other double-figure assist games. He has been a perfect fit for this Montana State team.
Battle launches and hits another three. He started just 3 of 10.
KJ Cunningham, pretty good defense, and Battle just too long and too athletic. Up and over Cunningham.
Cunningham against Battle and an and one. Boy, the tournament bringing out the best out of what you call star role players.
Boy, KJ Cunningham, last 2 baskets, he's taken a big part of this offensive load. The thing that I love about KJ Cunningham, watch this great finish over 6'5", athletic, leading with his shoulder, causing that contact and finishing. KJ Cunningham is playing his 106th game, Tony, and he has been very patient to wait on his chance to be the starting point guard. There was games early in his career he didn't see the floor, and in this day and age most guys would have hit that transfer portal quicker than you can say Jack Robinson. Boy, this kid has been loyal, waited his turn, and he has having a heck of a Big Sky tournament.
33 Weber State, 31 Montana State. Patterson, a good look, and he does not miss many looks of that quality. He's 1 of 4 from 3.
Well, that was a set play, a little cross screen, down screen, but for Patterson, who received the down screen. Pretty good look, but pretty well defended once again by Weber State. It's almost like who's going to blink first here in this half-court defensive battle.
Cunningham no good this time. Dylan Jones, the putback, no good. And a foul as Ford was trying to get around Verplanken.
Coach Sprinkle now playing with both of his point guards, both transfer portal guys, Robert Ford III, who I've talked about from Idaho State, and Darius Brown. He'll play with 2 point guards. He'll play with 2 big guys. He comes at you with a lot of different combinations. Danny Sprinkle leading his team to the NCAA tournament last year. The last time they went to the NCAA tournament, he was a freshman, and they won the Big Sky Conference tournament under my buddy Mick Durham. Beat my Idaho team in the semifinals.
A loose ball and the foul, bucket for Fuller. A deflection turned into a great paint opportunity for Montana State.
I think that's what you call right place, right time, because Bello was throwing it out of that double team. And as you said, it kind of bounced right to Caleb Fuller, who is a big, strong, the third Englishman on this Montana State team.
He won a silver medal at the 2017 European Championship with Team Great Britain. He's put his team in the lead now at 34 to 33. 10 lead changes. Verplanken.
Wow.
Halfway down and out.
Yes, sir. Rattled around and out. Verplanken has kind of carried the load offensively for this Weber State team in these 2 tournament games.
Fuller to work on the post. Trapped on the base. Bello in traffic. He muscles his way to the free throw line. 34-33. Montana State by 1 here in Boise.
There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hyundai.
The new 2023 GMC Sierra AT4X.
There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hyundai. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hyundai. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hyundai. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hyundai. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hyundai. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hyundai. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hyundai. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hyundai. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hyundai. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hyundai.
This all-new Aria is an elegant EV.
Yeah, with 308 targets are on site.
It's all here, as we discussed.
There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hyundai.
That rocking chair would look great in our new house.
Oh, a new house, eh? Well, you should definitely see how Guy...
Targets are on site.
It's all here, as we discussed.
Targets are on site.
It's all here, as we discussed.
Big 12 men's basketball tournament comes your way tomorrow with a doubleheader starting at 7 Eastern. West Virginia, Texas Tech on ESPN2 or ESPNU. And then it's Oklahoma State and Oklahoma at 9:30 Eastern time. The Big 12 men's tournament brought to you by Phillips 66. Joe Lunardi taking a look there. The overall #1 seed would be Kansas if it all got started today, Coach. 2 seeds, including a Big 12 team in Texas. And Baylor to go with that as well. Bello at the line.
Bello, a 72% free throw shooter, the team's leading rebounder and second leading scorer. Player of the year last year. He slipped to the second team in the Big Sky all-conference picks this year, which doesn't mean he had a bad year. He had a very good year. Last year, he just had a superb year on a superb team.
When it comes to this time of the year, Danny Sprinkle's teams can do it in a number of different ways. They need to grind out a fist fight, and they can do that. And they can also throw punches early. Tonight, it looks like we're headed for a tight one. 35-33. Dylan Jones against Patterson. And the help comes from a couple of different guys. Jones gets inside of Patterson and finishes. Dylan Jones started just 3 of 13 tonight, and he has a chance to give Weber State the lead back.
Well, one of the great finishers, if not the best finisher in the entire league, and Tyler Patterson giving up quite a bit of size there. Tyler Patterson 190, Dylan Jones 235. And I'm telling you, easy open shots here is about as, in this game, has been about as rare as a fat postman, Tony. You don't see many fat postmen, and you don't see many open shots in this game.
36-35, Weber State in the lead. He's going to be here all night, folks. He'll be here tomorrow, too.
Boy, this is quite the physical battle. I'm telling you, and I'm serious. When's the last time you saw a wide open shot in this game?
In a long time. Inside, traffic there. Bello unable to connect. It's a 1-point Weber State lead. And Dylan Jones, who is a big guy that plays point guard so incredibly well. It's because his brother, Eric Johnson, who played at Miami of Ohio, they were the same size. His brother, 8 years older than he is, taught him to play point guard. He's been fantastic. Dylan Jones, also a really unselfish young man. He has a twin sister. Being raised by a single mother, he told his mom to make sure she got all the school clothes shopping. She got all the Christmas items that were wanted. As Dylan just took the clothes that his brother was able to give him from the gear received from Miami of Ohio, because they were the same size. A terrific family, and he's a great example. Zaire Porter with his first 2 points of the game. And Porter, the X factor in the win over the Bobcats with 13 off the bench.
His first score tonight, and that was a great finish with his left hand. Porter 6'6" with arms like well ropes on him. When he gets it in the paint, he can go over about anybody.
A jump ball, it will go to Weber State. We take a look at this move here from the senior out of the Bronx.
What a great finish there. Falling away with his left hand. Kid that started his first year here. This is his third year at Weber State. He played all 30 and started all but one, or had one start in these 31 games this year. But during the COVID year, he started 21 of 22 games. So he brings a lot of experience, a lot of length to this Wildcat club. Well, this is very reminiscent, Tony, of the semifinal matchup last year between these two teams. That, man, it was a little higher scoring, but it was one of the most competitive and big-time college basketball games I've seen in this tournament for a long time.
Jones contacted, no call. Loose ball, it's picked up by Brown. Even numbers the other way, but an open forward for three, and we're tied up at 38.
Transition defense, just a little bit of slippage there for Weber State. And as I've talked about how few open looks there has been, Robert Ford got one, and he made the Wildcats pay to deuce it all up at 38.
Jones with Osibor on him. Porter steps inside. That floater, he has terrific touch on that play.
Well, that's his game. Every once in a while, he thinks he's a three-point shooter.
Well, they closed on him, and he's only 25%.
No, that like I had a kid say, Coach, I'm wide open out there. I said, there's a reason you're wide open out there. You hadn't hit one since Moby Dick was a minnow out there. And Zaire Porter is a lot the same way. Finally, he's learned to just put his head down and get it to the paint.
Osibor lining up on Jones. Goes to the middle with the left. Short again. Muscles back up. Stripped. On the ground, it's picked up, and a foul is going to be called on Montana State. Ballard picked up that loose ball, and this battle just continues to heat up.
I'm telling you, Tony, I've seen fist fights that are less physical than this game has been. Watch this. If you catch it in a low block, it's like a gang fight, and then come out of that gang fight, and you get in another fight. Man, oh man, is this a physical game. Holy mackerel.
Slow pace once again. Weber State likes to play with. Jones dancing off right. Goes off low to Porter. Porter's going to step inside another mid-ranger off here, but fortunately for Weber State, it goes off of Jabril Bello.
He's had two great moves. That one was a little questionable there, letting that one go. About a 12-foot floater with a couple guys on him there. He's become the backup point guard Zaire Porter has, and has done a very serviceable job on it.
Dylan Jones now 0 of 4 from deep, 4 of 16 from the field.
He was 1 of 7 from.
Osibor ties it up. Great Osibor. Off the bench tonight with 10.
15 points last night, 6 of 7 from the field with Osibor. I'm not sure he's not better going to his left. He's right-handed, but boy, he can go up over that right shoulder and really finish with his offhand. Again, much credit to Chris Haslam, the assistant coach for Montana State, the native of England, and boy, he's done a great job of bringing these two big Englishmen along in the low block.
Great is from Britain, but originally lived with his family in Spain until the age of 12.
3 big Englishmen on the court now, with 2 from Montana State and Alex Chu back in the game. That's 6'11", 250. A lot of big Englishmen running around out there, Tony.
Jones finds Porter. He's been busy lately. Misses here, and Dylan Jones his 11th rebound.
Tell you what Dylan Jones has. He has unbelievable hands. You see, he just snatch that one out of the crowd. When he gets his hands on it, he usually brings it home.
Porter Hand in the face three, and he almost hit it. He's had a tough year shooting from deep. But a couple of years ago, Porter shot 42% from three. Osibor, drop step, Montana State on top.
Dylan Jones throws his hands up in frustration, thinking there should have been a quicker double team or a double team come there. I'm not sure there was time. Dylan Jones kind of snuggled in behind Osibor there and didn't do himself a lot of favors.
Offensive foul, and that'll be the fourth on Alex Chu.
Boy, rough and tumble, back and forth, and rough and tumble. Now, Montana State takes a 2-point lead, 42-40.
There's never been a better time to get away. With a great deal on the hunt. There's never been a better time to get away. With a great deal on the hunt.
The new 2023 GMC Sierra AT4X.
There's never been a better time to get away. With a great deal on the hunt.
The new 2023 GMC Sierra AT4X. The new 2023 GMC Sierra AT4X. The new 2023 GMC Sierra AT4X.
There's never been a better time to get away. With a great deal on the hunt. There's never been a better time to get away. With a great deal on the hunt. There's never been a better time to get away. With a great deal on the hunt. There's never been a better time to get away. With a great deal on the hunt. There's never been a better time to get away. With a great deal on the hunt.
The new 2023 GMC Sierra AT4X.
There's never been a better time to get away. With a great deal on the hunt. There's never been a better time to get away. With a great deal on the hunt. There's never been a better time to get away. With a great deal on the hunt.
Geico's been offering savings for over 85 years. That's longer than the buffalo wing's been around.
Targets are on site.
It's all here, as we discussed.
That rocking chair would look great in our new house.
Oh, a new house, eh? Well, you should definitely see how
Targets are on site.
It's all here, as we discussed.
Targets are on site.
It's all here, as we discussed.
Geico's been offering savings for over 85 years. That's longer than the buffalo wing's been around.
How hype can you be? How tight can you be? How loud can you get? Make some noise!
Champ Week, right here on ESPN2. Taking a look at the teams that are already in. UNC Asheville, Kennesaw State, the great run. Furman, Oral Roberts, Gonzaga, the usual this time of the year. And more tickets to be punched, including one tomorrow night here in Boise. As it'll be the championship game tomorrow night, 9:30 Mountain Time, 11:30 on the East Coast. The biggest lead for Montana State has been 3. And Bello has a chance to increase that.
Junior
If
Ballard
he hits both, they'll give him a 4-point lead.
in the right place there, just a little bit late. That double team came pretty good for a great Osibor. They could have had higher hands to not let him turn and look out of that double team. And Bello made a nice instinctive basket cut there.
Jabril Bello, this will be his 11th and 12th free throws of the night. He hits this first one. March is here, and ESPN Tournament Challenge is back. Scan the QR code to download the app and play the #1 bracket game. Create a group, invite your friends, and get ready for the madness.
Bello, 18 points, 8 rebounds last night. So he went 8 out of 10 from the free throw line last night. So he's kind of living there at the free throw line his first 2 nights here in the tournament.
9 for 12 at the stripe for Bello. And all 9 of his points have been scored at the line. Verplanken backing down on 4. Another stop here for the Montana State defense.
Ford kind of read that step back move by Plankin there, who we've said a couple times tonight, that's his move. As soon as he stepped back, Ford really close to his body there.
Bello going up against Chu. Chu with 4 fouls tonight. Darius Brown finds Fuller, and Fuller takes too many steps.
Darius Brown so strong with the ball. He gets to the paint. He 2-foot jump stops. He's got a great sense of balance when he does that, and just tries to pick you apart there. So far, Darius Brown 5 assists and no turnovers. The defensive player of the year is also pretty handy dishing the ball out as well.
Weber State without a bucket for just under 4 minutes. And just one of their last 7. Jones can't hit here, and Dylan Jones tonight is 4 of 17. The Montana State defense, #1 in the Big Sky Conference, has kept the Big Sky MVP candidate in Dylan Jones in check. They've also been able to start to surge ahead of Weber State here, as the Wildcats have had those cold spells, and they're in the middle of one now.
Well, they're having some cold spells offensively. Dylan Jones 4 of 17. He was 7 of 19 last night, and they're starting to wear down a little bit too, Tony, I think, in their half-court defense. Not quite the energy and the alertness that they have been playing with up to this point. But also that has to do with not scoring for a while. You know, every time you hit a couple baskets, all of a sudden that energy comes back a little bit at the defensive end. Right now, not quite as quick on the rotations, not quite as good guarding the ball as what they have been, again, to this point in the game.
Bello caught an elbow from Dylan Jones in the face. Bello's going to be okay, and action will resume here. Now a whistle will stop action again.
Not sure what that was about. Greg Nixon just blew his whistle and was kind of pointing and waving to people. I think maybe Bello is bleeding.
So they'll have to take him out of the game. It's a big moment here with how well he has played tonight. Osobor certainly excellent. Stepping in, he's 6th man of the year for a reason. And he's played really well tonight. Osobor with 12 points off the bench.
As soon as he enters, Tyler Patterson, they run a little play for him and try to spring him at the 3.
Here goes Osobor. The crossover, a block from Chu. Montana State thought that was Chu's 5th foul. Jones barreling over Caleb Fuller. It's an offensive foul, and Montana State will get it back.
Jones has struggled. He has played hard. He's not come out of the game. A nice block by Chu. You forget Chu's 6'11", 250. You're not going to take it in there and just kind of flip it up there. Osobor normally really goes hard and is a great finisher. I thought he kind of was a little soft on that. Trying to go inside Osobor, a little cross screen, down screen. They said a cross screen with a small, so you can't switch it.
And that will be 5 on Alex Chu. A rough night for him as he was dealing with these 2 bigs in the paint. And they went inside time and time and time again. And it is no easy task with what Chu was having to go up against.
Well, there's no one in the Big Sky can match up size-wise and physicality-wise when Bello and Osobor are both in there. 6'9", 240, 6'8", 245. They just punish you physically. Now, every once in a while, you can take advantage of that of the other end, and one of those big guys has to guard out on the perimeter. But, boy, when you're guarding them down here at their offensive end, they are a handful with those 2 big guys in the game.
Split on the free throws. And Jabril Bello still is having a tough time. holding off that bleeding. Remember, a year ago, the matchup with these two teams, Bello was dealing with a bit of a knee injury, had limited minutes.
Yes.
And Osobor came in and just played exceptionally well, helping them get to the final. And then, of course, they won the championship. Osobor with some big minutes coming here as Bello is now being taken back to the locker room. Or, excuse me, he's still there on the bench.
Jones has had a tough night, but Caleb Fuller has had an awful lot to do with that. He has really played Jones physically at the defensive end.
Jones, another tough look. He is now 4 of 18. The loose ball foul is going to be called on Caleb Fuller.
Makes him 11 of 37 here in the Big Sky Conference tournament.
10 team fouls for Weber State, 6 for Montana State. Weber State scoreless for the last 5-11. For Plinken, no good. And Weber State is just 1 of their last 10.
And you've mentioned a couple times tonight, Tony, Weber State is very prone to go through these really cold spells where they just can't hardly buy a basket, and they are in the midst of one right now.
Brown goes to Osobor. Offensive foul. Weber State will have it when we come back. It has been a rugged fistfight, as it usually is between these two teams. Physical battle in the paint, bodies crashing, and a championship berth on the line in Boise.
There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the hunt.
The new 2023 GMC Sierra AT4X. The new 2023 GMC Sierra AT4X.
There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the hunt.
The new 2023 GMC Sierra AT4X.
There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the hunt.
The new 2023 GMC Sierra AT4X.
There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the hunt.
Geico's been offering savings for over 85 years. That's longer than the buffalo wing's been around.
That rocking chair would look great in our new house.
Oh, a new house, eh? Well, you should definitely see how Geico...
That rocking chair would look great in our new house.
Oh, a new house, eh? Well, you should definitely see how Geico's been offering savings for over 85 years. That's longer than the buffalo wing's been around.
Targets are on site.
It's all here, as we discussed.
Champ Week presents the ACC Men's Basketball Tournament presented by New York Life. You take a look here tomorrow. Great slate of games with a quadruple header starting with Syracuse and Wake Forest at noon Eastern. And it all wraps up on ESPN2. As North Carolina, a team that is on the bubble there. They're in the first 4 out. Could do a lot to help their cause coming up. You see Utah State, Nevada there. As the last 4 in as the Mountain West Conference Tournament is going to be wild. Here is Jones blocked on his drive to the hoop. Weber State had no field goals in the last 4:49 of the first half. Currently, they have 1 made field goal in the last 7.5 minutes.
And what's amazing, Tony, Weber State has only shot 5 free throws. They're 5 for 5. And I mean, this game has been rougher than an old corn cob. It's hard for me to believe that they've only got to the free throw line now 6 times. Dylan Jones with that point has his 20th double-double of the season, 10 points, 12 rebounds, which leads the Big Sky in double-doubles.
Dylan Jones, the heart and soul of this Weber State team, makes it a one-possession game. Shooting just 4 of 18 from the field with those 12 rebounds. And trying to will his team here in the last 7.5 minutes as the offense has gone stagnant. Montana State has had great work out of the post. The ball movement on this possession, a 3-second violation.
Well, watch those.
Or no, an offensive foul, excuse me, on Osborne.
No, it was a 3-second call, I think, Tony. I was looking right at the official. He held up 3 fingers. Either that or he was ordering 3 beers for after the game won. I don't know. But, boy, those 2 big guys were really going to work down on the opposite low block.
Jones back to work against Osborne. Hits glass and nothing else.
What it amounts to, Osborne is coming a whole lot closer to guarding Dylan Jones, and Dylan Jones is to guarding Great Osborne in a low block.
Go into the post again. Throws it across the river for Fuller. Rims it out. This slow grinding game continues here in this second half.
And you kind of feel like Montana State is kind of in control and building a lead. You look up, it's a one-possession game. Weber State down 3 points, 45-42.
Weber State just 3 of 14 from beyond the arc. Zaire Porter right to the hole, a blocking foul. Will send a really good free throw shooter to the free throw line.
Zaire Porter is, in fact, a very good free throw shooter. 62 of 75 this year, 82%. And I'll give the big long drink of water Porter credit. Boy, he went like a man to the basket then.
Montana State fans furious. They thought perfect positioning and that they had drawn a charge. What a big swing here as Weber State struggling to hit shots. Can still have production here at the line. 7:05 without a field goal.
No, we've talked about it before. That has been their Achilles heel all year. Boy, they're just playing up a storm at the defensive end, really being unselfish with the ball, and they just can't make the ball go through the hoop. And to build on my point, a guy that is a terrific free throw shooter goes 1 for 2. Weber State straight man-to-man the entire night. Montana State the same thing.
Osborne on the post up. The help comes from Tomba.
Montana State just playing smash mouth basketball with those 2 bigs in there, just camping them on the 2 low blocks and trying to power the ball inside to one of them.
Long launch here from Darius Brown. And this 2-point game continues to stay tight. Weber State has missed their last 9 shots, 1 of their last 11. Dylan Jones to work. He'll get to the free throw line, and this kind of seems the way Weber State is okay with all of this.
Well, again,
not making shots, trying to get to the line.
It's a 2-point game, and Montana State and are playing their 2 big guys, and it just comes down to, can Dylan Jones guard a big guy on the post, and can the big guy guard Dylan Jones on the perimeter? And it's just gone back and forth that way. Dylan Jones actually one of the best free throw shooters in the league. It's 6th in the Big Sky at 82%.
Talked about him being the #1 defensive rebounder in the country. He has 13 rebounds here tonight. The last 5 times he's had 10 or more, they have won.
Both teams with 10 team fouls, so obviously both teams in the double bonus now. The Bobcats with 3 timeouts left, as do the Wildcats, going down the stretch here with 5.5 to go.
Weber State was excellent from the free throw line tonight, but now they've missed 2 of their last 4. Raekwon Battle left it short. Battle tonight, 4 of 12, a jump ball. And it's going to go to Weber State on the possession arrow.
I was just getting ready to say, we have not called Raekwon Battle's name a whole lot. He had a couple baskets early. He had 5 at halftime. He's got 10 points now, but he has not gotten loose like he can at times. First team all Big Sky Conference.
Weber State will call a timeout. We'll take it with them. 1-point game in the semifinal.
There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt.
The new 2023 GMC Sierra AT4X.
There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt.
Geico's been offering savings for over 85 years. That's longer than the Buffalo Wing's been around.
Oh, that spin class was brutal.
Targets are on site.
It's all here, as we discussed.
Geico's been offering savings for over 85 years. That's longer than the Buffalo Wing's been around.
Targets are on site.
It's all here, as we discussed.
Geico's been offering savings for over 85 years. That's longer than the Buffalo Wing's been around.
It's getting late in this semifinal. And a late game here this evening. And the Big Sky tournament features Montana State on top of Weber State by 1.
Tony, Weber State 0 for their last, well, they hadn't scored a field goal in the last 8 minutes and 15 seconds. They've missed 5 straight, and they are 1 of their last 10 shots.
Jabril Bello returns after dealing with the bloody nose.
The next time a Weber State guy hits a jump shot, we're going to stop the game and give him a trophy, Tony. It's been so long since they've made one.
Jones with the step back against Bello.
Jones continues, only 4 of 20 now. Can't fault his effort. He's got 13 rebounds, and no one's even close to him in terms of leading the game in rebounds. His 20th double-double, 12 points, 13 rebounds.
It's been a 4-minute scoring drought for Montana State during this stretch. Battle almost ended it. And the drought continues for Montana State. It continues for Weber State in terms of the field goal issue.
And you just got to appreciate this game in a real ugly way in terms of how hard these teams are playing. Both of them in the 30% shooting range. Dylan Jones finally on that pull-up.
And Weber State takes the lead, 46-45. Battle spinning in the lane, crashing into a defender, offensive foul. Dylan Jones draws the charge. (46-45) when it gets late in the East, it gets wild in the West. You're watching ESPN's Champ Week, presented by Principal.
There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt.
Oh, that spin class was brutal.
There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt.
Oh, that spin class was brutal.
There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt.
That rocking chair would look great in our new house.
Oh, a new house, eh? Well, you should definitely see how Guy...
There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt.
Targets are on site.
It's all here, as we discussed.
That rocking chair would look great in our new house.
Oh, a new house, eh? Well, you should definitely see how Guy...
You can't possibly be powerful, polished, or be a...
Tonight's game summary, an interesting one here tonight, Coach. A drought for Weber State. Bench points in favor of Montana State. But the Bobcats having a tough time offensively on their own as well.
Well, Tony, as I said earlier, open shots and easy shots have gone by the way of the unicorn here in this game. This has been nothing but man-to-man, all-out man-to-man battle. I mean, this has been as rough and tumble of a game as I have seen for a long time. And you've got to appreciate both these teams and their coaches, how hard they're playing, how competitive they're playing. And it's now a 1-point Weber State lead. And I'm telling you, I can't even remember last time someone hit a jump shot in this game.
You saw it on the game summary. 14 lead changes, 9 times. The bench production, which was featured there for Montana State, has been showcased by Greg Osobor, who has 13 points in this game tonight.
Both teams shooting 37%.
Dylan Jones into the paint. He's fouled. Dylan Jones trying to will his team through this game here, Coach.
Boy, he brings it right at you. I mean, he put that one right in big Jabril Bellows' mug and then got himself to the free throw line. And that is where Dylan Jones has made a living, 4 or 5, because he's sure having trouble putting it in from the field. 5 of 21, 0 for 4. From the three-point line. That makes him 1 of 11 in his 2 tournament games.
William fatigue could be setting in here. Dylan Jones has played all 36 minutes up to this point. These have been grueling minutes.
He's 6th in the league in free throw percentage, and he almost missed the rim on that. Obviously made that adjustment, got a little bit more of his lower body into it. A 2-point lead with 3 minutes and 40 seconds left.
Both teams going to dig down deep. Find out just how much they have left in the tank. 47-45.
Danny Sprinkle remaining with his 2 big guys and trying to just pound it in, and they did just that.
Osobor ties the game. Montana State takes a timeout. We're all tied up. 3:25 left to play.
There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt.
Oh, that spin class was brutal.
There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt. There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hunt. There's never...
All right, Coach, you take a look at the bracket. Northern Arizona, stunning tournament run. They're in the championship game. They'll face the winner of this game here tonight, tomorrow at 11 o'clock or 11:30 Eastern on ESPN2.
Tony, whoever wins this fist fight may not even be able to show up for that game. I'm telling you, I don't know how much gas they're going to have left in the tank. This is as rough and tumble and competitive game as you're going to see. Montana State, how about this, coming out in a little 1-3-1, really throwing a wrinkle at the Wildcats.
Offensive foul. Great defensive play by Robert Ford III.
Danny Sprinkle really rolling the dice on that, coming out playing a little bit smaller lineup. Now on that one possession of defense, Osabar back in to play with these big guys on offense. I thought that really got the Wildcats back on their heels just a little bit, but I thought that was a real strong move by Porter. He just happened to have someone between him and the basket as he was doing it. I tell you, Stephen Verplanken has done a very, very nice job of guarding Raekwon Battle.
Battle goes over to Ford. Brown now has it. Back and forth they go. Ford against Porter. Slicing through the lane. Wild shot, no good. Dylan Jones with his 15th rebound of the night.
What a gutty possession of man-to-man defense by the Weber State Wildcats. They have got to be exhausted, and boy, they just put everything on the line there defensively and came up with that long rebound. Dylan Jones is one of the best rebounders I've seen, a tracking down rebound. He ran from almost across the floor to get that one.
Jones with a little space. In and out. He is 5 for 22.
Still tied up at 47. That would have been a huge basket, and that did everything but go in.
Tied up. 2 minutes left. Deep breath.
Really good ball screen defense there by Alex Chu. Really quick lateral movement.
Here's Battle into Osabar. That spin move again, and he'll earn a trip to the line.
You know, when you're guarding Osabar in the paint on that catch, you almost have to gap him, which means you can't let him feel your body because he's so good at a young age of feeling where you are with your body and spinning off of that. I believe I'd try it. If he doesn't get it too low or doesn't post it too low, I would gap him on a catch there.
And a tough night. Trying to defend the bigs for Montana State.
Let's say they're just playing smash mouth basketball now with those two bigs. Just get down there and root for position and just power it in there.
What a year it's been for Alex Chu. Immense growth. And it didn't happen from the offseason into the season. It happened in the middle of nowhere there in December. He just blossomed. Osabar with the first free throw good. Off the bench tonight. Sitting with 15 points, matching what he had one night ago.
He was 6 for 7 from the field last night in their win, and he's 5 of 9 so far this game.
Split trip, 1 point game.
Both teams with 2 timeouts left. Excuse me, Tony.
Cunningham lost it. Ford on the run. Double dribble. Oh, the tension just keeps picking up. We're seeing some bizarre stuff here tonight.
That was a great and gutsy call by Greg Nixon, the official across the floor. I believe it was the right call, but I don't know. At that moment, there'd been a lot of guys make that call. Montana State now playing small at the defensive end. They're playing small on defense, big on offense. Trying awful hard to keep it out of Dylan Jones's hand.
Jones stepping in the lane. Bello fouls him. He'll go to the line for 2.
Jones has got to be exhausted. He has not been out of this game And he has taken some real physical abuse anytime he goes to the paint with it.
Dylan Jones spoke to his team at a postgame after a really frustrating loss. His team was not playing well at all. He came in, put his hands up and said, we're still doing the right things. Trust this process. Trust the leadership of the coaching staff. And eventually we'll start winning. The coaching staff said he was massive to keep this team together when things were tough. And they've stuck together, had a terrific conference regular season. Now Dylan Jones here at the line. Does tie it, can't give him the lead. And here we go, coach. Tie game with 1 minute left in this Big Sky semifinal.
Both teams in the double bonus, both teams with 2 timeouts left, and it's all deuced up at 48.
Long pass out of bounds.
Tough pass there, trying to throw that lob over a couple guys was Bello. Osbar didn't even know the ball was in the air, and credit a very physical Weber State defense. They backed off of Bello and just mugged Osbar on the low block.
Sometimes teams may try for a 2-for-1 here. However, with the fatigue of Jones and the way this game has gone, they may slow it down for a quality 1-for-1. And it looks like that's what they're going to do. Dylan Jones.
Strictly nice home for Jones.
Candidate. To Zaire Porter, the senior from the Bronx. Long rebound, Darius Brown. And Montana State can play for the final shot. They'll get a timeout across the timeline.
Well, that was not a great shot by the Wildcats there, but it was about the only shot that was available. Dylan Jones did not want to give that ball up, but the Bobcats did a nice job of getting him corralled. I thought that Zaire Porter was going to drive that to a draw and kick. I'm not sure anyone was open to draw and kick too, but Zaire Porter, who's had some success driving it in the lane tonight, missed that one pretty badly.
All right, if you're Danny Sprinkle, what are you drawing up here?
Well, I would put the ball, regardless of the set, in Darius Brown, the guy that is the defensive player of the year in the Big Sky, but big and strong with the ball, and is 3rd in the league in assists, and see if he can't create something. It'll be interesting to see if he comes out with these 2 big guys, or he'll try to spread the floor with a little bit of smaller lineup. If you're Weber State, you just got to come out with the thought, well, I'm going to stay in front of my man, I'm going to contest every shot, then I'm going to block out. 1 contested shot and a block out, but you want to be aggressive if you're the Bobcats and take it at the basket to either a draw and kick or to try to get a foul.
You can see the tension from so many fans here in this building tonight. They all want to come back and have their team in the championship tomorrow.
And the Bobcats are going to go with their big team with both bigs in there, which I like for a couple reasons. You got to guard them obviously on low block, but then you got both big guys in there for the offensive rebound. If I was Cunningham, I'd try to keep it out of Brown's hands, but that would have been tough duty right there. Watch Brown take it off this probably high ball screen and try to create something. Here comes the ball screen.
Here comes Brown. Throws outside. Bello! Air ball. 0.7 left. Weber State is going to have it. They're going to take a look at it to see just how much time is left.
Bello on a pick and pop. Not exactly a great guy to execute this pick and pop. I'm sure that's not what they were looking for. Weber State, again, really nice job of defending that. And then Osbar just a little short there. Or a Bello, I mean. And I don't know if that's a three-point attempt. It was awful close. If it was a three-point attempt, that will be his first three-point attempt of the year. Up to that time, Jabril Bello 0 for 0 from the three-point line. So I'm sure that was not the play that was drawn up by Danny Sprinkle. Well, it's not been a thing of beauty, but we have a classic finish here, Tony. Probably going to be extra basketball here. 1.4 seconds left.
In this conference, teams have scored with less time on the clock. The Big Sky play of the year with Portland State at Northern Arizona, as it was this phenomenal score by Isaiah Johnson. 0.4 on the clock. A true Hail Mary, by the way. Hunter Woods with a launch. And it was a thrilling win for the Vikings of Portland State. Let's not forget last year, the Big Sky play of the season. It was Raekwon Battle, a guy in this game who hit a shot from just inside a half court. No conference, we mentioned it before, no conference has had a higher percentage of closer games decided by 4 or less, than the Big Sky Conference.
And this has been a classic game. Again, of the matchup of these two teams in this same semifinal round last year, maybe not as low scoring or as rough and tumble as this, but every bit as close, with Montana State winning by 3 to get to their second straight championship game, of which they won and then went to the NCAA tournament. Look for them to throw a pass and then maybe call a timeout here.
Here's Kohler at the horn. And we have 5 more minutes left to play in this Big Sky semifinal classic.
To the ball here in the second half. 11 turnovers for the game for Weber State and 13 turnovers for Montana State.
This game was too good for 40 minutes. We're playing extra 5 here. Tamba jumping with Jabril Bello. The extra session here underway.
Danny Sprinkle continues to play offense with these two big guys. See if he can do that for the next 5 minutes and then go small on defense. Obviously, you can't do that every possession.
Tamba, a takeaway.
Montana State trying to go high-low there, and you can defend that one of 2 ways. You can really get out and pressure that high passer, or you can gap him and kind of sandwich the big guy down low, and that's what Weber State did. Tamba able to pick that pass off.
Steven Verplanken. He's had 12 points tonight. Dylan Jones struggling to shoot from the field. Late in the clock, beats the buzzer, rolls off. Osabor comes down with his 6th rebound. He has 16 points.
Steven Blanken, remember, had 10 points at halftime to lead all scorers. Since then, he has only scored once. He has 12 points. Montana State going with 2 bigs, 2 point guards, and Raekwon Battle.
Battle no good here.
What a great rebound by the point guard, K.J. Cunningham, coming from way out on the perimeter to snatch that right over Greg Osabor.
You can see the exhaustion from several players out there on the court. Jones has played every minute. Darius Brown has sat very little. Verplanken in and out.
Well, you can see that exhaustion from one color analyst too if you look very close.
Robert Ford circles underneath, slips it into Battle. No good. Follow up from Bello, no. Cunningham ahead to Dylan Jones.
I mean, if you are faint of heart, you better not go in the paint in this game, because it is big boy basketball down there, and it is all-out battle when the ball goes up on that glass.
Jones off to the right, and Dylan Jones now 0 of 5 from 3.
He just has not found his shooting touch here, from deep anyway, in this Big Sky tournament. 1 for 7 last night and 0 for 4 tonight from the 3-point line.
Battle, the mid-range, smooth, and it's a 2-point Montana State lead.
That's a little bit of a ball, kind of a brush ball screen there for Battle that I think the Weber State Wildcats exhaustion is shown there. They have covered that really well all night. Battle came off there. I think Dylan Jones maybe a step and a half late trying to get to him. But I think that's fatigue talking now.
2-point game, under 2 minutes to play. Verplanken, the mid-ranger, ties it up.
Verplanken with 14 now, his second basket of this second half. He still seems to have quite a bit of energy. It'd be nice if he got going and scored a little bit for his Wildcat team.
Raekwon Battle bursts into the lane, has it stripped and picked up, though, by Osobor. Osobor wants it Darius Brown. Brown breaks the paint. He's outside to Battle. With 5 on the clock, down to 4, down to 3. Raekwon Battle launching at the horn. Got the rim. Dylan Jones got the carom. That's rebound number 16. And a collision down on the floor. It's on Osobor. And for great Osobor, that is his 5th.
I talked about how rough it was down in the paint. That wasn't even in the paint.
This was a strange collision. The way they fell, you could just see both of them.
It looked like they were both shot. I thought maybe we had a sniper in the arena or something. Boy, they both went down like a sack of taters there after they collided. Of course, Greg Osobor at 245 pounds, and Dylan Jones, no small kid himself. Smart play. Dyson Kohler saw Osobor kind of lumbering down the court and gave his body up, stepped in front of him, and got himself to the free throw line. That is a huge contribution by Dyson Kohler. He may feel it tomorrow, but I tell you what, that was a heads-up play. Osobor leaves the game with 16 points and 5 rebounds.
Here's Dyson Kohler, sophomore out of Draper. He gets both. Kohler, an 82% free throw shooter.
Kohler now with 6 points, 2 rebounds. Dylan Jones has played, only guy on the court who has played every minute of this game.
Under a minute left to play. Jabril Bello to work on Tamba. Wraps around. They're going to call a foul here on Tamba before the shot.
I thought Bello might have got away with a hook there. It sure looked like he hooked with that left hand, but again, the official in great position there with a great look at him.
This will be free throws number 13 and 14 for Bello. Tamba has 4 fouls.
Bello now 10 of 13 from the free throw line tonight after going 8 of 10 from the free throw line last night. Kind of get the feeling that big fella's kind of hard to corral down there around the low block.
This to tie the game. All knotted at 52. The 13th tie. There have been 16 lead changes. The biggest lead for Weber State, 6. The biggest lead for Montana State, 5. Porter, guarded by Raekwon Battle. Here's Dylan Jones. Contact, no call. Cunningham, the launch. It's flat. Loose ball. Brown has it. He's on the run. He turns around and they can play for the final shot here of overtime. And they will. Shot clock off.
Danny Sprinkle not going to call timeout. I think he's just going to ISO Darius Brown, let him try to create again. Darius Brown, remember, threw it out last time. Look for him to hold on to it and make a play around the basket.
Here goes Brown at the buzzer. No. And we go to double overtime.
Wow. You think anyone wants their money back for the price of their ticket here? What a fabulous basketball game. 21% from 3. Montana State 26% from 3. One thing they're not short on is effort here.
Several players over 35 minutes in this game. By the time this is done, Dylan Jones will have played all 50. It's unlikely he's coming out of the game. Darius Brown has played 44, and Brown draws a foul here to go to the free throw line. If that is on Tamba, that is his 5th.
Montana State 6 of 22 so far from the free throw line. Weber State 13 of 17.
And a big moment here. Daniel Ruzon will come in. Ruzon hasn't scored a point since February 6th.
He's kind of lost some minutes because Andre Tamba has been on the come, but he was playing some kind of backup minutes. Just a freshman from Las Vegas. Big, strong body.
2 points, 4 rebounds for Tamba. In a game where everybody has just simply emptied the tank. There's still 4:49 left to play. And Brown getting that trip to the line, hitting both free throws.
Tony, we've played 45 minutes, and we're still a ways away from 60 points. If that gives you any indication how hard it has been to score in this game.
Verplanken outside to Jones. Jones cut off by Brown, but Brown fouls him. Dylan Jones will go to the line where he is 6 of 9 from the stripe.
16 points, 16 rebounds for Dylan Jones. If you're curious, his season high in rebounds is 21. Season high in points, 26.
Unanimous. All Big Sky first team. And right in the thick of it for the MVP. Instead it goes to Steel Venters of Eastern Washington, well deserved. It was a tight race at the top in this conference. Several great candidates.
Well, let me read this to show you the varsity of Dylan Jones. 1st in rebounding, 2nd in steals, 4th in assists, 5th in field goal percentage, 6th in free throw percentage, and he led the league in minutes per game. You wonder,
we're going to stay here.
You wonder, Tony, excuse me, if that timeout was for strategy or just for rest. I'm not sure who called it, but I wouldn't blame either coach to call it to just rest these guys. It says Montana State on the scoreboard has 3 timeouts left. Now, I don't know if that was their timeout or not, and Weber State with 2. So
I believe Weber State called this, and this is, I wouldn't doubt some of it is to just dig down deep. You have plenty of timeouts here to work with,
just
and
to rest.
Knowing the situation, you need to find that energy on defense. And the free throws and things like that for Dylan Jones, he needs stuff like that. The game will slow down like that.
No question.
You can see it so clearly down here at courtside level. With every player being pushed to the test here tonight, nobody more so than Dylan Jones. He's played 46 minutes now tonight. Right behind him is Darius Brown, the addition to this team to take that point guard duty so seriously. Battle hits a 3. Ray Battle gives his team a 3-point lead at 57-54.
That was as clean a look as Battle has gotten for a day, I think. That I'm not sure what happened there, where the Wildcats weren't matched up, where they ran a little quick hitter to springing.
Verplanken falls down. Kohler steps in. Short, Bello the rebound.
Kohler had a good look. He's not a great shooter off the bounce like that, but he had time to get his feet set, and that was short, and you don't know if the fatigue had something to do with that or not.
Battle guarded here by Dyson Kohler.
They came right back to that same play. Caleb Fuller had set a little screen to get him that last shot.
Jones gives it to Kohler, who cuts it to 1.
What a great finish by Dyson Kohler, and a great pass by Jones in a crowd. Kohler went up, double clutch, kept his concentration on the rim. That was a big time finish.
Outside shooting a problem tonight for both teams. Montana State 29.4%. Weber State 18.8%. The double comes from the base.
Both point
goes
guards
into that high post. Bello, contact, blocking foul.
Watch Battle receive this little kind of brush screen almost, I think, by Fuller here to get him wide open. And that's as clean a look as been in this game almost all night. And then watch this nice pass here by give Kohler a lot of credit for not just making the basket, but for running the court that hard. And Kohler has not been out of the game a whole lot tonight.
Jabril Bello 11 of 14 from the line. He has shot 14 of the 24 free throws for Montana State.
And he didn't shoot that one very well, Tony. Usually he holds that follow through and finishes shot, and once again fatigue maybe playing a part of that. He threw that up there kind of like he was throwing darts. He just kind of chunked it and dropped that hand without finishing the shot. Let's see if he holds these follow through this time and shoots this one just a little bit better. If he does, still just a 2-point lead and a 1-possession game.
Second free throw is good. All 12 Jabril Bello points have come from the free throw line. Great Osobor there on the bench. He is fouled out. 2-point lead for the Bobcats.
Junior Ballard in for the Wildcats, the third leading scorer. I'm sure Coach Duff thinking fresh body, maybe a little extra offense.
Great take right to the hole by Junior Ballard.
As I said, their third leading scorer, maybe a fresh body and a little offense.
He was a combined 1 for 10 against Montana State this year, 0 of 7 in the loss. We're tied at 58. Go into that post. The double will come. Cunningham strips it out of bounds. The shot clock is at 3.
Very alert play there by KJ Cunningham. Watch this. Looked like the Red Sea parted there. Bello trying to get over there. Not, boy, someone missed a matchup there, and Ballard took him to task. But what a great defensive play by Cunningham on that last post attempt.
Gotta hurry. It's Battle. Another miss. Battle is 6 of 20. Dylan Jones, 5 of 24.
KJ Cunningham, 6 rebounds, 9 points, 2 assists. He has very quietly played a really good game for the Wildcats.
Both teams shooting 35% from the field. Cunningham with the take, slips out of his hands. They're going to review it. We'll see what they come up with here.
Robert Ford III thinking it was their ball, but Robert Ford III also got away with a little playground foul there. Not a little foul, that was a big foul.
Let's see. Reached in, and Cunningham just had that ball slip out of his hands. That was as clear as it can be that this ball should go to Montana State.
Well, they may feel bad because they missed a personal foul there and give it back to the Wildcats, because that was clearly a foul as well. Not easy to see from all 3 of those referees' positions, but that's the reason you go to the monitor. 1:33 left, all tied up at 58, 2 overtimes. I tell you who's going to be busy after this game are the trainers. Because I'm telling you, there is going to be a multitude of bumps and bruises and sore bodies after this one.
Taking a look at it, neither team has led by more than 6 points here tonight, Coach. In this tight game. As you see Montana State there, this is a team that has 13 wins, now 14 at the conference tournament after their win the other night. Since '96, Danny Sprinkle has been a part of 11 of those wins.
What a great story Danny Sprinkle is. Comes back to his alma mater. The last time they went to an NCAA tournament was with him as a player, and then he takes it back last year as a coach. That is such a feel-good story.
And a phenomenal run during that tournament. He was the freshman of the year. 30-point performance, I believe, against Idaho in that run. Heard Idaho did a terrible job coaching him.
Who was the coach at Idaho at that time?
My partner in crime over here. We have that ball and a whistle. I think somebody on the baseline, something ended up out there on the floor.
I think Greg Nixon saw a wet place on the floor. Remember the other night in one of the opening games, we had two guys slip at the same place on the floor. I think the officials have been extra cognizant of looking for that. Good job by Greg Nixon, stopping the game, making sure everyone's safe. Still timeouts to use. The Bobcats with 3 timeouts. Obviously both teams in the double bonus. And Weber State with 2 timeouts.
Darius Brown has hit just 1 field goal, but he's been active. 11 rebounds and 5 assists. They go into the post as usual. Back out to Brown, who takes this screen. No, backs it up from Bello. Takes the other screen from Bello.
Really good ball screen defense by Dylan Jones there, and he is in a wrestling match with Jabril Bello down there.
Loose ball rebound, tapped up and grabbed by Montana State. We have 1 minute left to play.
I talked about what an uncanny rebounder Robert Ford III is at 6 foot, and he just continues to get unlikely rebounds.
Here is Ford. Launching for 3. It's flat. Dylan Jones tried to get it. Cunningham came up with it. Weber State will walk it up the court.
Weber State's discipline, 50 minutes into this game on defense, their discipline level is unbelievable.
2 bigs fouled out. This could be their last offensive possession. Ballard's going to go to Verplanken. Verplanken's going to back it up. 14 points for Verplanken. Shot clock is at 5. Down to 4 to 3 to 2. Verplanken, the fade, an air ball. Shot clock violation. And Montana State will have the final possession of double overtime.
Well, the last 2 late possessions by the Wildcats, they've not gotten great shots, but they're not great players off the bounce, one-on-one. Verplanken, not a guy that blows it by you. He got kind of a decent look there. The same thing with Zaire Porter at the end of the last overtime. They got just very, very average looks. Now Montana State, let's see what they do again. Besides putting the ball in Darius Brown's hand. Remember, Jabril Bello has missed a jump shot at the end of regulation. Brown missed the last jump shot at the end of the first overtime. They're going to get the last shot again. And I've been bragging on Weber State's mental toughness and their discipline in their half-court defense. They're going to have to reach way down deep for 1 more possession possibly here of defense. Kohler coming, I would extend my defense a little bit to help them use that clock a little.
They've had a great look each time they've had the final shot. Once it was Brown, once it was Bello. Clock down to 3. Who's it going to be? It's Brown, an alley-oop, and Raekwon Battle dunks it. From 6th man of the year a season ago to the man of the moment in double overtime.
I don't think that was a set play, Tony. I think that was just a read and react. Watch the penetration here. A little bit of a back screen by Bello there. I don't know if it was called from the bench or Bello and Raekwon Battle just worked that out. But what a nice pass by Darius Brown. This should have been, Dylan Jones comes to attack penetration. And I mean, Raekwon Battle wide open there. Kind of a spontaneous play. I don't think that was a set play. Again, Bello gets high basketball IQ setting that back screen.
1.6 left to play. Weber State can run the baseline. They have 2 timeouts. If there's anything they don't like, They can start over.
Now, the last time they chose just to inbound it and take a long shot. I thought maybe with 2 timeouts left, they may throw a long pass, catch it at half court, call timeout, and then run a half court set from out of bounds at half court. I don't know if the officials are looking to put more time back on the clock or not. It doesn't look like it.
1.6 as of now. That has been more than enough time in this conference before. We talked about that.
Yes, we have.
As Portland State was able to do it with .4. But the discussion will continue. And also for Danny Sprinkle, if there's anything he doesn't like about the way the defense is set up, he has 3 timeouts.
Well, we'll see if Danny Sprinkle puts someone on the ball to try to keep them from throwing an easy pass there. Let's see if Weber State, again, they've got 2 options. Obviously, they can catch it and try to take a long shot, or they can try to get a catch at half court and call a timeout. These are special situations you work on all season, late in practice usually.
Cunningham to inbound. It's Ballard. Whistles blow. Timeout called by Weber State.
On the catch.
They're going to do it there on the catch. So they'll have to be stationary to throw in. We'll see how much time they take off of the clock here. But now this does at least give them somewhat of an opportunity to get the ball into a place with a much more manageable
I like
shot.
what Coach Duff did there. I thought maybe they might try to throw it long, go up in a crowd and catch it and call a timeout, but he probably took the safer route by getting a catch coming to the ball and then calling a timeout immediately. Right here, timeout. Should be a little bit more time left on the clock, I think. See what the officials come up with.
Likely put more time up there on the clock. And it would be an inbound from about 55 or so feet away.
No time, obviously, for a dribble after a catch. Usually you have 1 second per dribble. 0.8. It's got to be a catch and a shot almost.
The winner here tonight will face Northern Arizona tomorrow in the championship game. 11:30 Eastern, right here on ESPN2. Weber State hoping for a miraculous finish. They have had a tough night shooting, just 35% from the field, 18% from 3. Cunningham is set to inbound.
They have played their heart out, though, both teams. This is as hard a played a game as you could possibly imagine.
Danny Sprinkle is as polished with late game details as any coach could possibly be.
I think because you can't move off his spot, you definitely put a guy on the ball defensively. If you're the offense, you're the inbounder, you take a step back to create a little space. Now, 1 or 2 things are going to happen. Weber State is going to back pick and they're going to throw it long around the basket, or they're going to back pick and pop and hope that the Bobcats go with the guy coming off the back pick, maybe pop to the ball, catch, and turn and shoot.
So the officials have finished up their review. We'll see what they have here.
Yeah. Here. Okay. He's talking to the replay guy.
So the officials coming over asking if they can get an even better look. See, they know you so well. They're just like, I'll just talk to Joe. Joe will fix it. Joe's our guy.
I thought Greg Nixon was going to come over and see if I had any cold beer in the room for later, because it is so late. I mean, this is late. It is after midnight, 1:45.
They're taking a look to see when the timeout was officially called. And the game clock is going to be put to 1.1. So 0.5 difference from 1.6 to 1.1. The clock had stopped at 0.8, and then they put 0.3 back on. So it's a half-second play to get it in the timeout.
Any little bit helps here.
15 ties, 17 lead changes. Raekwon Battle with the go-ahead alley-oop dunk. Cunningham was set to inbound. Montana State will use one of their 3 remaining timeouts.
Good timeout by Danny Sprinkle. You got to look at the formation, so to speak, Weber State was in. Now he's going to anticipate what Weber State is running or attempting to run out of there. Now Eric Duff may change his set after that.
Well, let's take a look at the basket that put Montana State up ahead, Coach.
Little back screen by Bello, and that normally would be Dylan Jones's help there. Dylan Jones came to give support help off of this dribble penetration. You see where Jones is, and Junior Ballard gets hit with that back screen. Again, I don't know if that was a set play or just a instinctive move by Bello and Battle.
Weber State, no timeouts. 1.1 left. KJ Cunningham to inbound. Let's see what they've got. It's into Verplanken. It's blocked! And that will do it. Montana State, for the first time in program history, is headed to the conference championship game for the 3rd consecutive year.
What a valiant effort and game by Weber State, by both teams, obviously. They both played their hearts out. What a shame someone has to go home after this. An unprecedented 3rd consecutive trip to the final game of the Big Sky Conference tournament for the Bobcats. Weber State 2 years in a row losing heartbreaking games.